and welcome to Access here at Paris Games Week. Hollie's here.
Hey guys.
Dan's here. Oh. And I'm here as well. This is Dave.
In joke.
I know, I'm sorry everybody.
Good one.
So we've just seen the PlayStation conference.
Yes.
Hollie has a list of what we call in this video, 9 things you need to know. 9 things that were revealed, 9 things we're excited about.
It's not everything, but it's 9 things I think between us we decided that we really want to talk about.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What's the first one?
What's number 1?
Number 1 is fighting games. So I've got to group these together because my 2 favourite people, I used to work at Namco, I worked on Tekken Tag 2. I love Ono and Harada-san.
These guys are amazing.
They are absolutely incredible. Harada told me off for having my nose pierced last time I saw him.
Aww.
Quite right too.
The father figure for the whole industry. Well, we just released our 750,000 subscriber video, and one of the things we said in there was how amazing Harada was. So me and Dave were like watching him come up on stage, and he came on with an amazing joke as well.
We did, so we came out, I bless them, Ono did make a bit of a joke that the Street Fighter stuff had leaked just before, which is always really sad, but
I can't believe you
Delsim...
disappointed Ono, the internet.
I know. He had to wear a special hat just to make up for it that he didn't mention at all. It was amazing.
That's when you get knocked out. It's the birdie thing. Yeah, it's a joke. It's a Street Fighter thing.
Oh, I knew it was a joke. I didn't think it was like that fashion in Japan these days.
Delsin got announced. Obviously, he's like one of the most. I remember when you
say Delsin got announced.
Delsin, no, Dalsim.
Flying badger attack.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Delsin. That stupid badger. No, this is like the classic Street Fighter character. Remember when like you were a kid and you could just spam the long hands, and that's how you won.
Arms.
But beards are back. They're still a thing in Street Fighter. Beards continue.
But no, I liked his new look. Yeah, it was
he looks really cool.
Hard granddad. Yeah, it was good.
And we got September. We got February 16th as well as the Street Fighter launch date in Europe and the Americas.
There was a new Tekken as well.
Now, you know what, now, I'm a Tekken fangirl at heart, only because I did my bit on the Tekken scene. I love my 3D fighting, so really excited to see Tekken 7 finally announced for console, which, if you guys are Tekken fans, you know it's already out in the arcades, but when they bring it from arcade to home console, that's when it gets all its new modes, and it gets all the exciting stuff. And it's the first time I think I've seen Harada in a suit that isn't like that sweet pimp white suit that he wore in Vegas. So I do like Harada-san.
I just want to see Harada and Ono hang out all the time. They're just so good on stage. They just have such a great time together.
We did a Street Fighter Cross Tekken event with Capcom one year, and they wanted to come over. It was a Christmas party, and I had to run around. I had to run around London to find elf costumes for them because they were adamant they wanted to be elves.
They had a mince pie eating competition.
No, they didn't, because they wanted it, and then they had never. I was like, "You've never tasted these. You won't like them." They didn't like them, and then I had to do Ferrero Rocher eating contest, wasn't it? And of course, the beta is coming. Beta or beta?
Beta.
Beta.
Beta is coming first to PlayStation, which is really exciting because, let's face it, Tekken community know the online is what it's all about.
Number 2, Hollie.
Dreams!
Okay.
Dreams.
You guys saw it. We're going to have a separate video on this.
We are.
So quickly, explain what you saw. What's Dreams?
Imagine an absolutely limitless Photoshop where it doesn't matter if you've ever been trained in using it.
Okay.
That is basically Dreams. Watch mine and Dave's video because we really will go into way more details. We saw a session, like a behind closed door session, absolutely blown away. Like it's so unbelievably impressed.
So but what we're talking about is Media Molecule, the studio behind Little Big Planet. They have got a game which is sort of a game, but sort of just create anything you like in the entire world, kind of a game, right?
It's very fluid at this stage, but they've got, at the conference they were showing off like the characters more. So we've spoken about before, or we've been told before, how you can create everything in the game, and there's this amazing way of doing that, and that's what Hollie and I saw, which we'll go into more detail about. But at the conference they were talking about kind of how you'll play the game like through other people's worlds and stuff, and whether you might be creating within that world, you might be exploring it. How they might have created a game for you, like at the end of the section, they showed like a little racing game and a little football game, and it was very much like, you remember in Little Big Planet how everyone was making calculators and stuff. That's going to be happening, but mega times.
So watch these guys on the video, I guess, is the big message.
Please do watch it. If you're really interested in Dreams, or if you've got unanswered questions, I think that video is going to help.
Number 3.
Wild.
Nice. Yeah.
Now this looks like,
I want to ride a furry bear.
You can do that.
That is a different pastime that has nothing to do with PlayStation Access. And what you do in the privacy of your own home is entirely up to you, sir.
Here in Paris.
Here in Paris.
Just be safe.
Just be safe. No, Wild looked incredible. If I remember right, we'd only ever really seen a trailer. And there was the French team kind of playing not bagpipes, like panpipes down by a river somewhere, and it was all like, wow, what is what? Yeah, like I'm on board. You made Rayman. This is gonna be sweet.
This is the first time we actually saw the game, how it will, how it will be played, like what you'll be doing in the game, and we again had a behind closed doors, which we'll go into more detail about.
Loads more details. Think online like Bloodborne.
Really?
Yeah.
But what we saw in the conference was just like, what would you call it, inhabiting other animals, just possessing animals and using them for their skills and getting around and like infiltrating a camp with a rabbit and it's like crazy stuff.
We've got more details in another video that me and Jackson are going to be in.
Yeah.
We'll go into loads more. Like I said, think online like Bloodborne. It's really
think
cool.
Huge world without any bounds.
Like, The Witcher this year has blown me away, and like anything that looks like The Witcher, like Horizon or Wild.
Strip back The Witcher again. So, because I mean, The Witcher's obviously quite medieval, but it's strip it back further.
So
I think you're getting Wild. Yeah, I think you're getting. No, there are encampments
and stuff. It's like a hint of No Man's Sky about Wild. Ooh. You know, like very big, very. Make your own adventures
actually,
kind of
you know
thing.
When No Man's Sky is the whole universe, this is No Man's Sky for the whole kind of planet. Like it's very much all about, you'll start in different places, so you've all got different stories. Like I said, watch our video for way more details on that.
What number are we on now, Hollie?
4, I think.
Now, love it or hate him, Marmite.
Right.
But for me, it's Detroit.
Oh, David Cage.
Becoming human.
Really enjoyed Beyond Two Souls. We met Ellen Page, and she's like this big.
Yeah, she is.
She's literally fit in my palm of my hand. I really enjoyed it. I know that the style of gameplay does. Some people are on it, and it all depends.
I loved Heavy Rain so much. Really.
I preferred Beyond Two Souls.
Right.
I don't know why.
And Detroit.
Your silence says more than your words ever could, Nathan.
I really enjoyed Heavy Rain a lot, and I enjoyed Beyond as well. I'm looking like I'm glad. It's interesting that it's gone with. So this is an expansion of.
I thought it was interesting they came back to Kara
because there was so much. Everyone hooked onto it, and it was such a good idea. And also, like the imagery of it kind of turned up in Ex Machina, like the British movie, Alex Garland's movie this year, which is an incredible movie, and you should go and see. And it's kind of exploring the same themes, And these aren't new themes, but they are so David Cage.
Yeah,
it's not like it's untrue.
It's
like
just
what
a
is human?
deliciously quantic dream, isn't it?
Like I don't know if you guys had your David Cage bingo cards out, but he said emotion about 5 times.
He didn't.
Yeah.
He said no, he didn't. Did he?
Oh yeah, he did.
So this is number 5.
Okay.
And I've just gone with driving. Because we had two kind of,
Wow, you've combined driving into just one big driving club. Well, we should start on bikes, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Let's get this right. It is Driveclub Bikes.
Drive bike clubs.
Bike Club.
Not yes.
Team Access have just affectionately referred to this as Bike Club.
Bike Club.
So this is obviously from the wonderful Evolution guys. It is either a standalone game or an additional download if you already own Driveclub.
Really?
Allowing you,
I just thought it was DLC. I wasn't paying.
Well, it is DLC, but it's like, how,
standalone?
Like, I guess like First Light is probably a good example. Like it's kind of still also standalone, so you don't need to own Driveclub.
Yeah.
So if you obviously
really like motorbikes.
Well, maybe if you
exactly.
Maybe
you don't like
came
cars.
from.
Yeah.
Bikes were their thing. So if you've been waiting for Evo to do a bike game,
but most importantly, you can get it now. It's now. You only just heard about it, and it's there now. So
I thought that was really cool, and it's great to see the Evo guys out doing things because seriously, no one makes that game is beautiful.
It's incredible looking. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
One of the car manufacturers was tweeting pictures that someone thought was actual photography, and then Evolution had to tweet them and tell them that actually that was in-game shots. Photo mode. And of course, the daddy of all PlayStation driving games is returned.
Who's on stage?
GT Sport.
Yeah.
He got interviewed by Jim Ryan. That's how important.
That's a big deal. Yeah. It's like they've got a competition that's being adjudicated by the FIA, and you can get a prize at the same due as Lewis Hamilton if he wins that year.
He could throw a cap at you.
I know, exactly. I mean, that is unbelievable. In fact, they spoke about that, how GT is always like breaking new ground with like GT Academy, which is amazing and stuff. Just another example of, and it's great the FIA obviously have so much, faith in GT, know what a great series it is and how faithful it is to motorsport, that they are willing to put
it's like FIFA for driving games, right? Like to work with that, to have the car manufacturers go behind the game in the way they do with GT, it just says a lot about
it. I guess the headline is, GT is coming to PlayStation 4, which everyone just knew was going to happen, but when now.
Yeah.
But also there was it's such an elusive series, and there is like a time when you're going to be, we know when there's going to be a beta and we're going to be able to have it in our hands.
Yeah, Vita is coming in 2016.
Yeah.
That's all we know.
Early, right? Early.
Early.
So, yeah, that's
Whatever,
good.
Kazunori.
What's number 6, Holly?
Okay, number 6, because I am a JRPG girl at heart, is Gravity Rush 2.
Yes.
Always nice to see that kind of like everything a bit rounded out, driving games, fighting games, some indie games, some big open world stuff, and then of course just you always need a JRPG.
So I jumped into a presentation for Gravity Rush 2.
You did?
It looks, it's funny, like games which come up from the Vita, and you know they look good on the Vita, and then you see them on the TV, and you're like, my God, this game looks so good.
Seriously.
And he was talking about, you know, how it's interesting we're here in France because the team was talking about how they've been influenced by French comic book art as well as Japanese comic book art, and then they started gameplay, and you know, it's not quite cell shaded. It's almost got that kind of Ni no Kuni kind of.
One of my favourite JRPGs, Ni no Kuni.
And it's beautifully rendered. They've tried to make the cities more kind of bustling and lively this time.
Power of the PS4, isn't it? You just step it up. You can just make things more destructible environments, for example. That's a thing you're going to get on PS4.
You're going to be able to destroy the environments, turn them into kind of balls of, I think they call them a stasis shot. You like turn them into kind of balls of like Katamaris and then launch them at enemies.
I do love Katamaris.
We were talking about Katamari earlier on.
We were talking about Katamaris earlier on.
So it basically looks brilliant. And you know, I think to me, I loved the original Gravity Rush. I didn't finish it because I couldn't quite get my head around all the perspective changes and the gravitational kind of pulls on a smaller screen. It was an incredibly imaginative title, and I feel like, oh man, I just like, now that I'm going to be able to see it on a bigger screen, get my head around it a bit more, I'm really, really looking forward to it. And they are remastering the original Gravity Rush. I'm not even sure, I don't know if that was something they just told us today.
No, that was announced at Japan.
The announcement kind of came together at Tokyo Game Show. If for some reason you have a Vita and you've never played Gravity Rush, please, please, please play it. It's absolute, you have to play it. It's Vita essential, it really is. It's up there with Tearaway and it's up there with
you can basically turn gravity off, and you know, your female character is just kind of floating through these incredible city environments.
It really is.
It's unlike anything else. You kind of go like, what game should be doing?
It's his own thing, it's completely new.
That's never been done.
Idea,
And PlayStation exclusive, which is always better. Ready? Number 7?
Yeah, number 7, let's do it.
Uncharted 4 multiplayer.
The small game, Uncharted 4. So I went to see the Uncharted 4 multiplayer.
It's just multiplayer they're talking about here at Paris Games Week. So.
And kind of in there. So Christophe Lester was on stage.
Yeah.
Arnie Meyer, the community, their head strategist.
I love Arnie.
Was there? Yeah, he was.
Did he have his fabulous man bun?
He does, yeah. He did. And looking very LA. And they were talking about, I think we're going to do another video on this.
Yes, we are.
So we are going to go into more in depth about it. But it was basically saying that they had taken characters and ideas from all of the Uncharted series.
Yep, which we saw kind of in the trailer.
Yep, loads of stuff that they've learned kind of about how to make a really interesting, compelling moment-to-moment multiplayer experience from The Last of Us. They put it all together, and what they have is the Uncharted 4 multiplayer experience. So it's about how there are kind of tactical, like kind of deployable perks and stuff, but they come in the form of, they call them mysticals, which are
some of the artifacts.
The supernatural things which have turned up in the games previously, and sidekicks, which are totally different. So they'll be like.
They looked really cool. Is it? We'll go into more. There'll be another video with Nathan.
One example. So, like, say you're trying to protect like an area, you can spawn a sniper, and he would just, he's attached. It's like a summon, like in, he will shoot, and whatever kind of cash he gets, the XP that he gets, will go to you, and you can see his little health bar going up.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, exactly. So like a little spawnable kind of NPC man.
Yep, and the beta is coming 4th to 13th of December. So if you guys purchase, I do believe you get it within the Uncharted Nathan Drake collection. So if you guys are waiting for that, it's the 4th to the 13th.
That's going to be exciting. Happy Christmas, yeah.
Are we on 8 now?
We are. And this, I thought the trailer for this was out of the world. Like, it was an amazing trailer. No Man's Sky. Yeah. It got dated, kind of. It didn't get an actual date. June 2016 is No Man's Sky.
So, and I was talking to Dave on the way out. I don't know if you guys noticed the voice came up immediately. The beginning quote, right? I don't know what the rest of the phrase, but they put it in text at the top. It was, "I've seen things," right? And then he said something else, and then I was like, man, like the Rutger Hauer speech in Blade Runner, right? You know,
like
1982, like sci-fi movie, obviously a big, like Sean Murray's kind of thing.
Sci-fi is They're really sci-fi.
And so everyone was like on Twitter, everyone's been saying, is it really Rutger Hauer? Is it not? And a few people from Sony suggested that it is really Rutger Hauer, and maybe he's got some kind of official role like Rutger Hauer, like an amazing actor. Kind of. So if he is on board, that's brilliant. If they're just, to be honest, if they're just nodding to him, that's also brilliant. But the cool thing is then at the very, very end, the second half of the last thing he said was, "You wouldn't believe," and then that completes the quote from Blade Runner, because the quote from Blade Runner is, "I've seen things you people wouldn't believe."
Nathan has these moments where you realise Nathan's actually quite smart.
I've wasted a lot of my life watching movies. That's all it
and
means.
he does these things. No,
but yeah, I mean that was to me. I was just like, okay, that's cool.
More than that, I just thought it was interesting that there's a voice. There's a man talking. There's a story there or something. There's something more than just here's a universe. It's
and also a bit of shooting, a bit of action going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like enemies.
Yeah, it was the first time it felt like super badass, if that makes sense. Like it was the first time it hadn't just been about explore the universe, take a gentle spaceship ride. It was the first time it's like, no. There's like cool spaceships and shooting and proper sci-fi weirdness going on.
I do think the game will be, and it's like, I think this is what, to me, the idea of, alluding to that speech from Blade Runner, because that bit in Blade Runner is about like an android saying, I've seen all these incredible things in the universe, like my experience. It's all about the kind of the loss of his experience. It's like, I've seen these amazing things, and to me, that more than action is what No Man's Sky is going to be about, and it's a way of Hello Games kind of reiterating our game. It's going to show you a universe. You're going to be like Roy Batty in Blade Runner. You're going to see stuff you will not believe that you have seen, and it's all about that kind of, you're an observer in this incredible galaxy.
I'm really excited. It's just nice to kind of have that rough kind of guide on release day. Anyway, ready for the final one?
Yeah. What is it?
Number 9. I've grouped this together as well. PlayStation VR.
VR, yeah, I'm really excited about VR.
We've made Dave play the kitchen quite a few times.
I'm not excited about the kitchen.
Sold on it. But we saw GT said it would be looking to come to PlayStation VR.
It's gonna be perfect.
Tekken 7, Robinson the Journey.
Yeah, Robinson the Journey.
Which was like Jurassic Park badass realness.
Yeah, with a hint of Portal, with a little Wheatley in there.
Obviously, Final Fantasy 14. Oh my god.
Yeah. That's going VR.
That you're all just like, yeah, right.
I mean, I just know that it's happening. I like VR, Holly, so I'm happy.
Until Dawn, Rush of Blood.
No, won't be playing that.
I think you'll find you will be. And of course, Riggs, and I think a few others were mentioned as well, but they're the ones I've just really quickly jotted down.
Yeah.
So that's quite a bit of something for everyone.
She was talking about 200 developers currently working on things for PlayStation.
That's massive.
I mean, that's loads, isn't it?
Also, and this is something that I've always thought about VR, I think we've said again, as well as games, just the way they dip their toe into. Actually, Shu said like how there's going to be lots, there's also going to be experiences and stuff like that. But they dip their toe with that whole.
Allow me to be cynical. Like I was watching it, I was going, I don't want experiences. I want to play a game. And then like we saw the little clip of everyone doing like the walk,
tightrope walk.
For the movie with.
Is it Walk the Line? No, that's
I
different.
think it's just called The Walk.
The Walk.
It's about a French man who walked between the two towers in the 70s. I think it was, or the early 80s. And then, but you did get to hear his French accent in a room full of French people. And I was thinking, oh, Hollywood, please. But then you kind of see the people who were trying that out, and they're just walking along a rope on the ground, and they're like freaking out, and you're like, man.
I really can't stress it enough. It's really, really hard to explain PlayStation VR without you trying it, because it's
so
quite
hard.
easy to dismiss it. It really does change the way you think and feel when you're playing. So for someone, if you guys watch this and you play Final Fantasy 14 like I do, then this idea of being completely immersed in the world, it's so Ready Player One, it's almost ridiculous.
And it's so natural to just look around. That's a natural thing. It just takes away like any kind of boundary to you. I'm so excited about it, and it's just going to be great.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That is our wrap up. That is 9 things that happened at the conference that we just absolutely wanted to talk about. There were still many, many other things that were dropped and mentioned, and there's some other trailers and other betas were announced. It's all very exciting, but there are loads more. There's loads more coming up. We've seen Uncharted, we've seen Wilds. Yeah, there's been loads. Guys, thank you so much for staying tuned. There'll be loads more coming up on the YouTube channel, and if you're in one of the very lucky countries, you can download the app right now on PlayStation 4 and watch all of our videos directly there as well.